Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the purple Super Saiyan Trunks Adult Rage and basically how good he is in Dragon Ball Legends after his release during the Legends Festival 2024. Now this is, I would say, overall a pretty good unit. Obviously a range type unit, but I think overall not too bad. Look, not saying that he's going to be a mainstay of your team or anything like that, but I think, there is a consideration that he does look pretty solid. So let's talk through his abilities a little bit. He is a little bit of a slow starter. He obviously has some kind of special cover nullification, but building up is something that he does kind of have to do. So in terms of his main ability, he does get plus damage inflicted to his special move damage. He also has reduction to special move costs, and he gets an increase to his critical rate for 10 timer counts. Well, this is pretty solid and is decent. And you have his two passives that he has. So in terms of unique abilities, pretty decently tanky. He's got damage reduction 70%, plus 60% key recovery, plus 100% to damage inflicted. When he enters the battlefield, he'll randomly draw one new card near 3 or less, restore his own key by 20%, and he also has a minus 10% to strike and blast out power for 5 turns. And basically, you just get a whole bunch of new levels of combo for him. Then, of course, depending on how many time counts have elapsed, since the start of the fight, he will also gain additional buffs. So plus 20% to damage inflicted, plus 10% to damage inflicted at 40, then at 60 time counts, plus 20% key recovery. The following effects will occur when he cover changes. He destroys a card and reduces the enemy key by 20%. In terms of his final passive, he has strength in camaraderie. Basically, with an enemy's art activating while he's on the field, he'll restore his own health by 5%. He will then nullify own elemental factors for damage sustained. He then will activate the count reset after the character switch. He also inflict all enemies with an accurate downgrade plus 5 to art timer costs. Every time he is hit with an enemy's attack, he will get plus 20% damage inflicted. He will also apply the nullification of enemy special action cover changes when they are performing a cover change. And basically, if your HP remaining is 50% or below after being hit by an enemy's attack, he will give you HP back. He will also give an increased damage inflicted, and he will increase his own art card draw speed, your own Dragon Balls, and shorten the ally substitution timer counts by 5. When he enters the battlefield, the following effects occur per tag feature, event exclusive, or weapon wielder character. Health recovery, damage inflicted, and minus 3 to arts cost. So yeah, pretty stock standard, I would say. Overall, that definitely, I feel, how can I say, I think the plot, I think his kit is okay. It's not anything crazy, it's not anything that's gonna blow anyone's mind, or be the absolute best, but I think he's pretty solid. I will say he is a decent unit. Obviously he's not necessarily a outright damage dealer or anything like that. He is a more, what's probably the best way to put it, I think he is more just a solid unit more than anything else. I wouldn't say he's inspirational or anything, but he's decent. And I think overall he does kind of do exactly what you expect him to do. And I think he, brings to the table pretty good kind of presence and situation. Yeah, I think overall he's not bad in that regard. So I do find him solid, if not unspectacular. Obviously, I think you could have, in theory, a better time. But I think for me, he's in a position where he's a good free-to-play fierce fight unit. Is he a absolute premier damage dealer that's going to stand the course of time? No. Is he solid enough that if you're a new player and you just need to fill up the empty roster slot and have a somewhat decent free Z boost, you're going to have a decent time with him? And that is definitely the case. So yeah, for me, I would 100% say, for certainty, that he is definitely more than decent. I think he's in a more than decent position. And yeah, I would have to say, definitely that overall, I think he's solid. Is he going to blow your mind? No. Is he going to fill in a gap and be a solid purple? Yeah, definitely. I think he's definitely got that covered, so to say. Of course, for a fierce fight unit, I would say you don't have to consider like using him. I think it is always good when the free-to-play unit is to a certain degree usable, and I do think that is the case here. Like, I think you could potentially use him to plug a hole. Of course, he's not necessarily a utility character. I think we're quite used to that from fierce fights, where they tend to be defensive or support orientated. No, he's just a solid unit there to do some decent damage, and is able to just kind of carry and do his thing and be a good representative from a functional aspect. So I do think that's pretty good.